And you could tell there was top-down orders from above, ironically talking about gangs. And they said, here's what you have to say. Because every tweet all these people put out said, hate has no place in New York City. Bill de Blasio said that. Cuomo said that. DA said that. They all said that same verbiage because they get a little bulletin.
Mm-hmm. You do see that in media.
I see it all the time. I'm really sensitive to it. When I hear when there's a phrase that's turned and it's like, okay. And then I hear that phrase again, I recognize it. And then it's like, did we all get our marching orders last night on exactly how to couch this issue, what our stance was, where we stood and where it was in the sky?
You gotta trust the science.
Yeah.
Collusion. Collusion is a weird word, right? Like how many times have you heard collusion before Russian collusion?
Not that often.
I think I learned the word during Russian collusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did Trump. I love when he says it like a word he hasn't heard before. Collusion. Like he really lets it roll off his tongue, like he's trying it out for the third time.
That's
like that.
motherfucker. You hear him say that?
I have not heard Trump. I'm not up on Trump right now.
Indict the motherfucker. Let's indict.
Let's indict the motherfucker. Dude, sometimes when he's freestyling, he's just so funny because you can tell, at least from doing this show for so many years, you can kind of tell when someone starts a thought and you're like, oh, they don't know where this is going next. Let's see. They're going to discover where this is going, with me. And so that Trump will go on lines like that and, hit different points.
Greatest stand-up comedian of all time. His recent bit about Joe Biden and how Joe Biden will be looking at a binder and he'll be answering questions about immigration, and then he'll change his mind. And you can see the scroll bar of time, and you're like, he only has 1 second left. How is he going to wrap this up? And then he goes, and he bumps into a wall. And you're like,
Biden does?
Perfect punchline. Yeah, he talks about Biden. See if you can pull up that clip, Jamie, where he
everyone calls
Jamie.
I have the Logan's guy working on the show. He does this great bit about Biden being incompetent, and the way punchlines it with, and then he bumps into a wall. It was like I spit take laugh every time he opens his mouth. That's why I don't understand why comedians hate him so much. You don't want the funniest guy on earth in the White House?
Yeah, it is. It's better for this show and for most shows when he's in, because it just opens the door to lots of Trump impressions, and he's a funny dude, and he puts himself in situations that are easy to riff on. So I would like him to get it.
When he killed Baghdadi or whatever and he's like, we sent the dogs in after him, the beautiful dogs. He was crying. He was whimpering. Like that was surreal.
Most people, you'd think, oh, you go through the front door. No, not died like a dog.
And you were clearly seeing a president speak like improving about, I was just in the back room and we got to watch a raid live on cameras and it was really cool. That's what he wants to say. I just saw our guys murder. It was crazy. There were dogs and explosions. He's describing Die Hard for the first time to someone.
Oh, yeah. He's talking about it's like he went to the midnight Call of Duty release in 2009 and he's telling friends the next day that couldn't get it yet about it. You're not going to believe it. The number of perks. My God, new perks.
Jimmy Kimmel juxtaposed Obama talking about killing Osama bin Laden and Donald Trump talking about al-Baghdadi, whatever his name is. And everyone was laughing at the juxtaposition because Barack Obama was like, last night we took care of Osama bin Laden. In the middle of the night, and then they have Trump going, he went through the side, you think you go through the door, and laughing at how unprofessional Trump is. Meanwhile, with this national divorce, we're so separate that we're laughing also at how awesome he is and at what a boring turd Barack Obama is. So now we enjoy the same media, but for opposite reasons.
I agree with what you're saying. A bit of it's not healthy. It's kind of a Rorschach test. You can take Kimmel's thing and show it to different people, and I'm on the opposite side as you. So I see Trump, and I'm like, he comes off as an amateur in my eyes. That's how he resonates to me. But to someone who likes Trump, he comes off as hilarious and a guy who just did a big thing.
I know he's such an amateur. Like, what has he ever done? Besides, conquer New York real estate in the Bronx when it was a shithole and make billions of dollars, and then conquer television and be at the forefront of American culture for about 3 decades, as opposed to Barack Obama, who, he was on all those academic bullshit things, and then he was a fake professor, and then he was a fundraiser, and
he's
then
a nerd
president.
Do you want a nerd president?
What?
Well, so Obama is a nerd.
Obama's a loser piece of shit who ruined America. And
I don't agree with that.
It's the second coming of Christ.
You think? You think
Trump is the second coming of Christ?
These are objective facts. I'll save my opinion for later.
No, if Christ came back, he would be fit. That's the biggest argument against it for Trump. If Jesus came back, he's not going to be overweight. There's no chance.
Dude, Can we?
I'm not a big Christian, but didn't Jesus fuck whores? Am I crazy?
No.
Mary of Magdalene, she wasn't like, what was that?
No. He washed.
I'm pretty sure this is accurate.
You're incorrect.
Don't go head to head with Bible.
He washed the feet of prostitutes and whores to show that even the lowest was worthy of that.
I think Trump would do that.
No, Trump would not wash someone's feet.
Yeah, he might.
He's 80. He can't bend over. None of these people can
I
bend.
picture her putting her feet up.
Yeah, you think, Gavin, you don't think that if Christ came back, he'd be fit, like striated, defined delts? Like,
are we calling Trump unfit, an 80-year-old man with a pot belly? Dude, you know what? How fit you're going to be when you're 80?
I won't make it.
I'll be dead before that.
Because you'll be a skeleton.
Mm-hmm. I won't be.
Thinner than Trump.
Technically, but not in a good way.
If Jesus came back right now and he saw Trump, he'd go, "Oh shit, I'm already back."
And then he'd be waving a Trump flag.
Jesus would take his blonde hair out of his eyes and put it in.
Can I sidetrack the whole show and pull up the clip I was talking about earlier, just so you can see it? We don't have to watch the whole thing, but you got to see this punchline.
All right.
This is a terrible thing to do in a podcast. You hijack it.
No, you're good.
Flips on the.
Shout out Ryan.
What's up?
All right.
I had it before, and then I threw it away.
What? You threw it away?
I threw it in the garbage.
No. Don't throw things away. Now I've ruined the whole podcast.
All right, I got it.
So sorry.
All right, we're gonna have to start over.
Blue Chew.
Yeah, we've got 2 cum-related products.
Let me tell everyone about my sex life.
3 times. Okay.
They ask him a question, Bill from NBC. They ask him a question. The border is very strong. It's very normal. And things are going very well on the border. Oh, thank you very much for the news conference. Thank you. And then he walks into a wall.
He's just having a fun time up there riffing. And I like that you can hear the like Seinfeld laugh track in the back from the people who are like obsessed with him. And because at this point, like you got to be pretty obsessed with Trump to go watch him talk somewhere. I feel.
Come on, you're not going?
It's not the funniest thing you've ever seen.
No, he has funnier clips. I think Trump is a funny guy.
Every time I see somebody do Trump's material, they do it better than Trump. Like when Shane Gillis talks about what Trump said with the dogs and everything, the beautiful dogs, it's his impression of Trump's speech is way better than Trump's speech. When David Chappelle goes on SNL and says, Trump got up there and said, "I don't pay taxes because I'm smart," that was powerful. When Trump said, "You won't remove my tax loopholes because people like me are your donors," that was powerful. But then I watched Trump say it, and it wasn't nearly as effective as when Chappelle said it, nor was it as effective when Shane Gillis said it.
Because you worship black people, and every time they say something, you start ejaculating.
Only black men.
And gays.
Yeah. And black women.
And fats. He likes fats.
Only thin black people.
America worships black people to the point of royalty. Like Jay-Z gets up the Grammys. Him and his wife are worth $3 billion. They have the most expensive house in the history of Los Angeles. And he's giving the Dr. Dre Award of Lifetime Achievements or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, how come my wife never got an award for Best Album?" And then he just leaves. And you're like,
yeah, I saw him pouring booze in his Grammy and drinking it out of it. Like, I guess, trying to be disrespectful, but it's just,
dude, we were talking about gay. Following the Grammys is gay, dude. Like that's
Gavin,
I have no idea what's going on.
Follows the Grammys and he clinks shovels. He's not looking good here.
He's a shovel clinker, dude.
I have
who should run in his footsteps? Who should take up his mantle?
Well, Vivek would be his VP, so I guess Vivek would move to the P spot. The P spot.
I also think Vivek is going to be VP.
Oh, is Vivek like a front runner for VP?
Absolutely.
He's on the list. Yeah. I personally think he's going to choose a girl.
Don't know things guy asking that?
No.
Jesus.
And suck my dick, by the way.
No, that was me. I genuinely don't follow the politics shit as closely. I thought Vivek was like not that. I thought he wasn't Vivek. I thought Vivek wasn't that popular.
Vivek.
It rhymes with cake. They give me a hard time every time I pronounce it correctly.
Well,
I'm the guy that doesn't know anything, and I can pronounce Vivek.
Yeah, Vivek. I've seen some clips from him where I'm like, all right, I like that.
He's
I like
funny.
that.
You know what?
Did you see him rap?
I don't know if I like him that much. Trump.
He's old as shit, and you need some of that young energy. And Vivek has that sort of bullish, go for it attitude that you don't really see in Trump anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who else would there be? Like fucking Nikki Haley sucks.
Nah, she burns too many bridges.
Too many skeletons in her closet. That stupid bitch took all that money without telling any of her investors that she's had very public affairs, which means you don't get the female vote, which means you don't win. And then who else is there? People talk about Tucker Carlson. I don't know. That's weird. I love Tucker. Consider him a friend.
There's no way Tucker has an interest in
Kanye West. Trump and Kanye West would legitimately win.
I think Trump and The Rock could win. Like, talk about idiocracy. The Rock polls really well.
Yeah. Has he ever said anything divisive?
He's never been on the campaign trail, though.
The internet hates The Rock right
all The
now.
Rock does is promote superhero movies and smile big and work out. But if they dug into his past and be like, how were you acquiring those steroids for all those years? And he's like, oh, I don't take any steroids. Are you telling us right here you don't use any performance enhancing drugs? Aren't you 52, sir? You're as big as a bus. Like, where are you acquiring these illegal drugs? Where and how?
Dude, no one on earth would give a fuck finding out about The Rock using steroids. That would not be a gotcha. Look at him. He clearly does.
Everybody already knows. That's the
he
thing.
denies it, and he would continue to deny it.
And you could use a jacked guy on the ticket with Trump.
Is it
somebody in between, like Chris Pratt, would be a story.
Chris Pratt. Nobody's
if Chris Pratt got caught. No, I'm not talking about VP.
Oh, okay.
If Chris Pratt was accused of doing steroids, you'd be like, maybe. Or maybe he achieved that naturally. I'm not sure. But The Rock, dude, stop lying.
Stallone got caught smuggling HGH into Australia one time. He was like, oh, I don't know.
It could have been anyone.
Someone planted HGH on me. Like,
look at him. Yeah, that's that chicken and broccoli diet.
You know, once you start approaching 50, that just happens.
You hit your second wind there.
You hit your second puberty.
Yeah.
Just get vascular.
Everyone knows about second puberty.
If there was going to be a VP who wasn't politically minded like Vivek, The Rock would win. I think Kyle's right. I think Kanye and Trump would win.
Yeah, the Kanye's interesting. So I think if
you don't
Trump
think so?
wants to win,
I know you hate him. I don't like him.
A girl or a person of color.
Ye said Hitler is cool. That's pretty much a deal breaker for votes.
What if he went back?
But he's backed off that, hasn't he? He's like, been like, what I was saying was that my doctor happened to be Jewish. He said.
He was just recently about to do, I think maybe Bill Maher's show or something like that. And they did a whole interview, and Bill Maher tweeted, "I'm not releasing the 2 hours I just did with Kanye. At the conclusion, I decided that he is a very, very charismatic anti-Semite, and I don't want to expose the world to that."
Dude, honestly, credit to Maher. That's a hilarious framing of that. His points were too salient and too funny.
When we talked about Putin, we said everyone needed to be heard.
Bill Maher on this. He's anti-Semitic and he's right. So we will not be having him on the show.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, but you should hear charming and salient anti-Semites. Obviously, you should hear it all.
Okay, so maybe not Kanye on the Trump ticket. I'll give you that.
I will say there is no way from today onwards you will ever see a straight white male P and a straight white male VP. That's done forever. No more Mike Pence, Trump. So when you have Trump and you're asking what the VP is, you got to think female, gay, person of color. There's no way. Like Tucker Carlson. Yeah. You go, oh, that sounds
Taylor Swift.
Male.
Taylor Swift's 35, right?
What?
Something.
Taylor Swift is 35, right?
Is that right?
That's the ticket. Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what's scary is that probably
VP's see Biden drops Kamala and picks Taylor Swift. They sweep.
He wins in a astounding landslide.
4 years from now, Taylor makes the case that they need one of those FDR triple terms, and the Biden empire begins.
Kristi Noem, is that person made up?
I don't even know. Hopefully, everyone is ready for some law and order. Like you look at El Salvador cleaning up, they imprison 60,000 criminals. You look at Javier over there in Argentina. Americans are both right and left are fucking sick of these open borders. It's affecting them at home. Their daughters are doing fentanyl. Their neighbors are getting robbed. And I think Trump's going to win in a landslide because he wants to close the borders and impose law and order. And I think even people who hate him are going to just swallow that bitter pill just to like get some security. And then they want.
All right.